trick! I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Hi everyone, welcome to Picture This Film Reviews. This is our weekly Thursday episode where we review movies that were picked prior to. And I actually will be your host today. My name is Cayla. This is Dan, and then we have Matt right over here. So this review will be my pick from last week, which is based on a true story or event, and I had picked Rocketman. That came out in 2019, based on Elton John's life. And this was a movie that I had been wanting to watch for a really long time, and we finally got the chance to. But before we dive deep into that, we're going to see how everybody is doing this week. Dan is still feeling sick, you guys. So if you watch the Monday episode, he's still sick.
Shocker.
So he probably won't be doing as much talking today, but we will try to fill in all the stuff. So Matt, how was your week today?
My
or not
week
today. Or
I know what you meant. But my week was good so far. Had a bombshell drop on me about an hour before we recorded, which I'm not ready to talk about yet, but it could it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it could change everything. Yeah, it's one of them type of bombshells.
That sounds very ominous. I don't like that very much.
I'm not sure how I feel about it, honestly, either.
My goodness.
But it's not a bad thing, but I don't know if it's a good thing, but we'll see. Time will tell and updates will follow. I went to the theater and watched Smile.
Oh my goodness. How was that?
It was good. It was I hadn't been to the theater in a while. I think the last time I went, I don't even know. When was the last time I went to the theater? God if I know. I don't know. It's been a while. It might have been with you guys. I don't remember the last time I went.
I feel like we watched something. What was it? It wasn't Jurassic World. What was it? What did we just watch? Like we watched something maybe a couple months ago.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Here at our house that
No, but we definitely went to the movies with Matt.
Yeah, and it was after Jurassic World. I remember that, but I don't remember what it was. But whatever that was, I think that was the last time I went to the theater. It's been a while, is what I'm getting at. And but it was good. It was a good reintroduction to the theater because I hadn't been in a couple months, and I was kind of nervous. I was like, this is either going to be really dumb or really good. And it surprised me. It was pretty good. Like, it wasn't really good, but it was pretty good. Like, it did what I wanted it to do. I didn't feel it was stupid. You know, some horror movies you watch and you're like, oh, that was stupid. This wasn't the case. I thought this was done very well. And the ending was a bit weak for me, but I'm not going to get into that because it's still new and don't want to spoil for anybody. But other than that, I mean, overall, I would totally watch Smile again.
Yeah, we've actually been hearing some pretty good things about it. So that it's more like, what did you say, psychological than it is like.
Yeah, it wasn't like gory or anything like that. It was very like, there's a couple jump scares that were effective. I don't know if they would have been effective had I been watching at home. That's what I would tell myself anyway. But I jumped about 10 times in the theater.
Oh my gosh.
It was quite a bit. That's why I say I don't know if I was at home I wouldn't have jumped, but it was good. Worth checking out.
Good. Very good. Well, I think the only thing we've watched other than that was and the Hocus Pocus was Halloween 2. We actually finished up today.
Yes, I meant to ask you. Yes.
Oh, and we watched Spirit Halloween movie too.
Oh yeah.
Yes, because it's out and we didn't even realize, and our kids really wanted to see it. So
you got to give very brief what you thought on both of those.
Okay. So do you want me to go, because I think we were both on the same page?
All I'm gonna say is on Spirit Halloween, I rate it the same as I did Hocus Pocus 2, and that's up to you to decide.
If you like Spirit Halloween, then you'll like this movie. But it's it's about Spirit Halloween. So how much more can you like?
It's cheesy, over the top. Went in thinking like it could turn out like Goosebumps, which honestly I really enjoyed, and it wasn't even close to that. So just left a lot on the table, and it's also open for a sequel, which
yeah. Anyway, I'm sure it made some money, so good for them. Anyway, okay, Halloween 2. Okay, I like Halloween, the first Halloween. If you remember a long time ago, I was like, that is a fantastic movie. I'm not a huge scary movie person, but the first Halloween was done perfectly. Chef's kiss, because it's like literally it's done brilliantly. This one, cue to the first scene, they're like, oh, it's written and produced both by John Carpenter and
Deborah Hill.
And I was like, oh, this is setting me up for good stuff, right? No, I did not enjoy it as much as the first one. I'm just going to keep this short and sweet. I thought it was really, really cheesy, and they really went for the kills in this movie compared to the first movie. They were just going all out in the eyeball, on the throat, burning people that didn't even need to die. Anyway, I think they went, and then the ending too was like, what?
So now let me ask you, now that you've seen the 3, technically out of order, but now that you've seen 1, 2, and H2O, could you see I like to describe those to people who have never seen the Halloween movies, and like, where do I start? I say start there, because they tell almost a perfect trilogy of the sister story of Michael Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis.
So yeah, so those are like, besides 3, because that doesn't even count. But anyway, yes, those 3 movies go hand in hand. That does tell a complete story. And it kind of, because they kind of give you the idea in the second one that, oh, they're giving you flashbacks like, oh, Laurie was adopted, blah blah blah. So it totally makes sense. Now seeing this, I feel like Laurie's character wouldn't have gone to be like a school administrator. And we could probably do a whole separate episode of this, because you can tell she is so psychologically screwed up. No matter what was it? It was 18, 19 years later after the second one.
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry. Like 22 years later?
20. Yeah, 20. Yeah.
Something like that. It just, like, that part kind of like messes me up a little bit, but I see where they were trying to go with her bringing it back to her child, and then it being this whole thing. I have my own opinions about this.
So I'm curious how you'll feel, or how you would feel, hopefully how you will feel, if you watch the 2018 version, where they wipe out all that stuff. So the only movie that exists in that timeline is number 1, and then you go to 2018 and you see a different Laurie. Like, it's still Jamie Lee Curtis, but she's a different Laurie.
Okay, I think I would probably like that, honestly, because I don't.
We don't know
I don't like H2O. I don't like H2O.
You don't know that.
I don't like that movie.
It depends on how they went. Because I know you said they definitely did stack the bodies high, and I don't know.
Here's the thing. Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the sequel they did, Halloween Kills, I don't think you'll like that. No one really likes that. It's literally just a kill fest. Like, the entire movie, it's a kill fest. But I am extremely looking forward to the conclusion in just a couple weeks here. Halloween Ends.
So if they take Laurie Strode and they make her, is she a badass in Halloween Kills?
I mean, yes, but
has
no.
She's grown in a different, like.
She's grown in a different way. She's become she lives on a property by herself. She's got her house gated. She's almost like waiting for the day for Michael to escape. And because mild spoilers, he's in the beginning of the 2018's version. Michael never got away at the end of the first one. They ended up capturing him. And so for 40 years he's been in this institution. And she's been almost waiting, almost like a trauma survivor, waiting for the day that he's going to come back after her. And you see the grief and the trauma take a toll on her. Like, she's drinking, she's a mess, she's made a mess of her family, her daughter, her granddaughter, but she's ready. So when the time does come, is she a badass? Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Like, I probably will watch Halloween Kills now, even though, like you've said, it's gory before. but I mean, 2 was, I mean, it wasn't like terribly gory because it was like it was released in what, 1981 or something.
If
So it's
you manage to, and I'm not gonna force you, but if you manage to get Halloween and Halloween Kills done before the end of the month, our last October bonus show episode is on Halloween. We
oh, wow.
we could potentially review Halloween Ends on that episode as a bonus show if you manage to catch up. And again, that's just I'm not challenging you. That's just
I mean, we probably will, because I want to kind of like do the thing where we're watching scary movies in the scary movie month anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to, we should, because there's more things I want to talk about with Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay, we got way sidetracked.
We got way off.
It's like this is a Halloween episode. Okay, where were we? Yeah,
today's Rocketman episode is brought to you by Halloween.
It's Rocketman episode. Thank you for tuning in. Way sidetracked there, but that's usually how my brain runs anyway. Usually when we're here, we talk about are you gonna drop a little trivia today?
I'll just do that.
Okay, so Dan actually does our stats, so he will be filling us in on everything about Rocketman. So Dan, take it away.
Released in 2019, this musical drama has a total runtime of 2 hours and 1 minute. Mr. Matt, how long or how's that rate on your bathroom scale, sir?
As mentioned last week, I don't go to the bathroom during films. I rarely ever. 2 hours. How long was it? 2 hours and what?
2 hours and 1 minute.
I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like it was that long of a movie. I never was like, is this over? So like, I think it's a good runtime. Like, I don't think you could have done it in less time.
Yeah, I agree.
83% of Google users like this movie. This had a 7.3 out of 10 rating on IMDb, 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, 69% on Metacritic. The backstory or synopsis to this: young Reginald Dwight changes his name to Elton John, collaborates with singer-songwriter Bernie Taupin, to become one of the most iconic figures in pop history. Set to his most beloved songs, it's the epic musical story of Elton John, his breakthrough years in the 1970s, and his fantastical transformation from a shy piano prodigy to an international superstar. Again, this was released May 31st, 2019. With director Dexter Fletcher helming it. This had a budget of $40 million and all over the world, global box office, 195.3 million US dollars. So huge budget into this, but definitely got its return back. And this was distributed by Paramount Pictures.
Okay, very good. All right, so I will take this away since it was my pick. So actually, you had just read the little summary and it said it was a musical. I have honestly, and this is so dumb of me, and I can't believe I'm admitting this on screen and recording this, did not realize it was going to be a musical. Oh my God, I should literally just like slap myself right now. Duh. Anyway, so they start the first little musical, like music part, and I'm like, yes, I'm already loving it. I love musicals. So this already, it reminded me of like Across the Universe. Like what else? What was the one that we just watched not too long ago? Oh no, I watched it, Mamma Mia. So I love anything, and especially if I love the artist, I love watching something where they're incorporating the music into the story. Like the music itself is telling a story, especially with Across the Universe. I love that. So I was already getting into it. There's a lot of things that came up in this movie that I did not realize, which is kind of silly. Like I did not realize that, what was his name? Bernie had written so much of his music, which is like amazing, because if you sit down, you actually listen to the stories that are being told in the music, it makes sense, especially with like the song I was telling Dan, there's a song called Daniel, and I'm just like, wow, like when you really actually sit down, I didn't realize that there was a totally different lyricist, is that right? Songwriter, what have you. So that was really cool to find out, and I didn't realize that, you know, he had such a troubled childhood, and that pretty much shaped him into the person he became as an adult. And it's sad too, because you don't really realize that these artists or these people put on this face, this mask, but in reality, like, so many things are troubling him. And that, what year was it, 1975, or that he tried to kill himself in his own pool. So wow, there's a lot to go into this movie that happens in the span of 2 hours, which they probably could have went on for, just like Elvis, a 4-hour runtime, because I still don't feel like they covered enough in that movie. Anyway, this was a very emotional movie to watch, but it was also beautiful at the same time, and I really appreciated watching it. Obviously, I really liked it, and I'm glad we did get to watch it. I'm glad I picked it. And like I said before, it was beautiful to see the music numbers fit into the different times of his life. And can I picture myself watching this again? Yes. I probably will be watching this again, probably on my own, because I can enjoy the musical numbers more. I can, do my dance numbers and stuff like that. I do want to say a couple things. Sorry, there's like a gnat flying around, so it's like bothering me. I do want to say there are a couple things. The lead actor, Taryn Edgerton, I think his name is. Wow, that was an amazing performance. And I think it's sad because I don't feel like he got enough recognition versus how Rami Malek got playing
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm like Freddie Mercury. I don't feel like there was enough recognition for Taryn in this role, because he blew it out of the water. And to think that he actually sung these songs and then later on went on stage with Elton and they sang them back to back. That's beautiful. I think you can truly see the amount of time he took to play Elton in this. And also too, the costume design was phenomenal. There was that suit that Elton had on, the orange bedazzled freaking devil suit. If I ever could have a signature outfit, that would be it. That was breathtaking. I wish I could own that outfit. And that really like captured my attention. I love that too. They did a wonderful job of just making it bright and beautiful when it needed to be in this movie. But kudos to everybody in this movie. And too, I think it won a Golden Globe. It got nominated for so many, and it was an Oscar nominee as well, I believe. So kudos to everybody who was a part of this movie, because I think it was so well done and so well written. And it was a perfect little, and I said this in the last film, a perfect little love letter to the person it was meant for. So thank you. Whoever wants to go next.
Just jump in here, Matt. That's all right.
Okay.
Again, just want to be straight and to the point in this. Watching this film, I'm not really a huge fan of musicals, but it was inspiring. It really wasn't, a story just dedicated to the songs. It was, again, a retelling of moments in his life. And I'm not going to sit here and claim to be, a biographical expert of Elton John and his life. So what is true, what is exaggerated here, I'm not 100% certain. But what I can say is that the feeling you get from this movie is that he was not very supported by his parents. He had a lot of support from his grandmother and then folks that he came in contact with that were already in the industry. And he had a talent from an early age, and he did shoot up just like a rocket man, rising to fame, popularity that he did. I think if I had to put a nail on where the pivotal moment or the overall story is in one scene, it was when he was in the room with people in the AA or NA, whatever they were in, and they were talking to each other. And the little boy version of him's in the corner, and he says, that his name was Reginald. He's like, no, I'm not Reginald, I'm Elton John. And it was I think that was a moment where you saw the acceptance of himself in this film, and it really was a transformation, really being unsure of himself to being really dependent on other people. It is worth noting that the friendship that he had with his singer-songwriter in real life, that's still ongoing. Like, they've been together for 50 years in songwriting. They have had breaks in between, disagreements, times in their life where they weren't seeing eye to eye, but I mean, that was a strong point in this film too, was that in the end, that's who always came back for him. And I was inspired. Again, I'm not really a musical person, but I actually did enjoy all the musical numbers in this. I feel like Cayla said, they really fit the scenes. I'm really kind of disappointed that Cayla doesn't want to watch this again with me, because I would picture myself watching this again. One of my probably one of the best movies I've seen in a little bit of time. So, kudos to the director, to the actors, for seeing all of what he sang, in actuality in this film. Edgerton, he did a phenomenal job. He's got some pipes on him, and then, as I understand, Elton John really was blown away by how he, sang, and really captured him as well. So, overall, at some points it doesn't make you feel comfortable, but it makes you feel all kinds of emotions. It makes you feel the struggle, and in the end, it makes you feel the triumph. And in a movie, that's freaking strong stuff. So I appreciate the pick. And Matt, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Wow, that was like a that was like a film critic's review right there. That was beautiful, Dan. I almost was in tears.
I just gotta get sick more often. So
I was almost in tears. Okay.
I just have to ask, did you guys like read my review? Because you guys said like literally everything that I was going to say. I don't even know if I should talk now. I mean, everything. I'm just repeating everything that you said. I think, Cayla, you're right. People didn't respond to this the way they responded to Bohemian Rhapsody, and I think that's because people don't. What I think the most biggest misconception, shall we say, about Rocketman is that the movie is not about a rock star with his music simply filtered in, like Bohemian Rhapsody was, like The Doors was, like any other number of biographical movies about artists. This is a musical in every sense of the word, which the first time I watched it, I didn't know that. I didn't get it. I watched it when it was new in 2019. And I was thrown off by it. I was like, what is this? He didn't make this song when he was a kid. Why is he singing this? Like, I didn't get it. And then I don't even know if I ever finished it the first time I watched it, to be honest. This time around, I watched it fully involved, knowing already that it was going to be a musical and not just a movie about his life with his songs in it. So this movie takes his songs, kind of like Mamma Mia did with ABBA, and just uses his music to tell his story. The movie, from what I understand, is not always chronological, but it does so that way. From what I understand, again, I'm not an Elton John expert either. In fact, I didn't know a lot about Elton John other than before this movie, but I understand that they did that so that for the viewers' benefit, so it could be more easier understood, and well, basically, yeah, it would be more easily understood for the viewer's perspective, and to understand his journey. The acting, I thought, was all top notch. Taryn Edgerton was brilliant. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. He didn't try to imitate Elton John. I felt he just kind of did his own thing while also kind of being as close to Elton John as possible, which is kind of weird, but he made it work. There was a couple things I wrote about scenes. I remember when the movie did come out, Taryn Edgerton I mean, not as like you were saying, not like Rami Malek, but he did get a lot of attention for this, and I get it now. He was great. He was great. I loved the relationship between Elton and Bernie. The closeness and the bond was very strong, and I just thought that was a great. I want to call it beautiful. I guess it is a beautiful thing. And then my favorite scene in the movie, shocker everybody, was at the end when they're in the meeting, and he comes face to face with all the people in his past, and there's the moment where the little boy, the young him, as Dan already described, and he says, aren't you Dwight or whatever, and whatever his name was Dwight. which I didn't even
Original.
read. Okay, and I didn't even know Elton John wasn't his real name before this movie.
Wow.
I had no idea. And he says, "No, I'm Elton John," and he says, "Aren't you going to hug me or something?" And they hug, and it makes you emotional, and it makes you. I didn't cry, but I almost did when that movie, that moment above all others, kind of grabbed me, and for a movie that I was already enjoying. I don't think you can't really ever fit a whole person's life or a story into a 2-hour movie. But I thought that this did a good job and came close. When it ends, it leaves you feeling like you really got to know the real Elton John, and he was a flawed person, but he's a human, and you really got to see that. Overall, I thought this was a wonderful movie. Unlike Hocus Pocus 2, which I threw in the garbage on Monday, I will 100% be watching this again and again. And I didn't even, a lot of the songs that were in it, I was like, oh, Elton John sang that? Like, I'm not forgive me, I'm not an Elton John, I'm not an Elton John fan, but he's just off my radar. I mean, obviously I know Rocketman, I know Tiny Dancer, but beyond that, and then they started playing songs like, oh, I know that song, but I didn't know Elton John sang it. So it was just kind of cool to like, oh, this is actually stuff that I know that I didn't know I knew. So.
Very good. Well, I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. I will watch it with you again. No, seriously, it was a beautiful film. I think, like we both said, it is sad that it doesn't get more recognition for how it all came together, and how it was all portrayed, because it was very well done. I'm trying to think. So Dan's pick is next, correct? So we're still going with based on a true story / event. So Dan, if you would like to tell us what your selection is.
Alrighty, guys. So, what's been in the headlines a lot recently and on my TikTok feed, which is constant nonstop, kind of weird. So the royal family pops up a lot, and I was kind of inspired. Well, I'd like to pick a true movie, not in recent times. We're not talking about Spencer. I know Cayla and Matt already talked about that a little bit, but I want to go with one of my wife's favorite actors of all time, Colin Firth, and look at a movie which I have not watched, The King's Speech, which, as I understand, is streaming free on Vudu and on Prime Video. So we have the end for you for that. So please watch it with us. I'm interested in your thoughts, as we are interested in your thoughts on the Rocketman. Let us know. Give us a like, comment, subscribe. We're definitely looking for subscribers here and some comment interactions from our folks. Check us out on Instagram and on our YouTube page, Picture This Film Reviews. I'm going to turn it back over to Cayla since it's her hosting.
So the King's Speech it's about Elizabeth's father, right? Was it Elizabeth's father or his?
I think it is his, I'm sorry, her father.
Her father. Yes,
yeah, King Henry.
I'm sorry. Yes. Okay.
King Henry, and I'm sorry, I should follow this more closely. It's either King Henry the Sixth, King Henry the Seventh.
Okay.
King George the Sixth.
Is it really?
That's what it says. I just looked it up because I have no idea what this movie is. So.
I know this film, I'm pretty sure, won Oscars. I think Colin Firth won an Oscar. I think, don't quote me, but I think he did for this, win an Oscar for this. So, I mean, I know this is like a very well received movie. Anyway, hopefully they're not looking wrong here. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, like Dan was saying, thank you guys if you're watching. Thank you for checking in. We drop movies. We drop
sometimes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We drop videos on Mondays and on Thursdays, and you can find those videos on our YouTube page, which is Picture This Film Reviews. And you can also find stuff on our Instagram, which is also under that handle, and our Facebook as well. So if you do like what we're putting out there, and please subscribe subscribe and like our videos. Check us out over there. Interact with us. Let us know what you want to see, what you don't want to see. If you did not like Hocus Pocus 2, please let us know, because I think we're in the majority here of not liking it. But anyway, that was a totally different video. Check that out. Check out Rocketman. And please check out The King's Speech and let us know how you feel about that. I usually turn this over to Matt to wrap these videos up. So Matt, will you take it away?
Sure. Should I tell everyone what we're going to do Monday or not?
That would be most helpful. Yes, if you would like to.
Okay. I didn't know. I mean, obviously I was going to tell you guys, but I didn't know if I should spoil it, or because the last couple of weeks I've been telling everyone so they know what to all 12 of you, so you know what to look forward to on Monday.
22.
Yes, now we've gone up 10. So all 22 of you, this is what you have to look forward to. On Monday, which is only a few days from now, if you're watching this on Thursday, we are going to do, drum roll, top 5 horror movies. Not necessarily top 5. Do I want to do top 5 scariest movies or top 5 horror movies?
I feel like we probably need to go scary for Halloween, but
I mean, they're kind of the same, but they're kind of not. Like,
yeah, I mean, you can have a cheesy horror movie.
I don't know if I've watched like scary movies. Like if I had, like, so is it like, what if I watch them and I don't necessarily like
What if I watch them and they're horrifying?
Yeah, like that's the thing. What if they're absolutely scary? And
so let's do top 5 scariest movies. So that way, even if you didn't like it because it scared the crap out of you, you can still list it and be like, well, this scared me.
So this is over the course of our lifetime.
Yeah, this is not like a 2022 thing. This is over the course of, so top 5 of all time. Right. So have at it, folks. And we're only going to do 5, so that's 15 between us.
I don't want anybody to laugh at me, so please just hold in your giggles.
I think you can come up with a solid list. I think if you really think on it, and
I am a baby.
Well,
and Google it.
I don't even know if it should be movies if we're looking back on now, but that impacted us during the course of our lives. Because there were some movies I walked out of at the time, and I was like, "Oh my God, that is freaking terrifying!" And it made a mark on me. But I don't know if rewatching those films I'd have the same. But maybe I do. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see it'll be interesting to see what we come up with. Because I honestly don't know either. I don't know what I'm going to choose, but I think we're going to take these Monday shows to our benefit, with October being Halloween. And so you're going to have a lot of spookiness on the Monday stuff, as seen with Hocus Pocus, and then next week, and then maybe at the end of the month, Halloween. Maybe. But sorry, that went off. I'm supposed to be ending the show. Everybody, have a great week. Watch us on Monday, and of course, love one another.
Bye.
See you guys.